As I reflect how we have been feeling over the last couple of days since we received the devastating news of the loss of our beloved Arch, I would say that it is the best of times and the worst of times. Worst of times because we have lost an icon. We have lost somebody who exuded so much love for everyone. And worst of times because we feel the pain of his family members and those who loved him who are in mourning. But it is also the best of times because we are celebrating his legacy. The stories are flying around. Everybody is sharing what he meant to them. And it is also a time of celebration of his life. This morning I want to reflect a little on what he meant for us within the Care for Creation environmental movement. First of all, his care for creation came from his love for the Creator God. He was first and foremost a man who loved God, the Creator. And because of that, every single human being, every single creature was important and was special. And because of that, when he met people who were impacted by climate change, he felt their pain very deeply. And he said that climate change is the human rights issue of our time. And it was one of the causes that he took up later on in his life. He said, you cannot love God if you do not love what God has made. And he began to talk about the concept of planetary Ubuntu. We all know that Ubuntu means that a person is a person because of other people. But what would it mean if we extended that concept? I am because you are. We are because the planet is. How can we bring this concept of Ubuntu into our care for creation? Archbishop Tutu said we need to stop just pulling people out of the river. We need to go upstream and find out why we are falling in. Through his work of fighting apartheid, he realized the importance of boycotts and sanctions. And he was one of the first people to support the divestment movement, pulling our moral support out of fossil fuel companies. He said we need an apartheid-style boycott to save the planet. Archbishop Tutu once was asked, how can you be so optimistic that apartheid will fall? And he said, I am not an optimist. I am a prisoner of hope. And I cherish those words when we look at the huge challenge of climate change that seems impossible to conquer. We are not optimists, but like Archbishop Tutu, we are prisoners of hope. A great tree has fallen. It is a great loss for the Anglican community, for the whole world. He was truly a great icon. A mighty tree has fallen. But when a tree falls in the forest, we know that it becomes a really important part of the ecosystem, nursing small seedlings, giving life to many creatures. And as we honor and treasure the legacy of our beloved Arch, let us build upon what he loved. Let us cherish his vision, let us cherish his values, and let us never stop being prisoners.